Have you ever wondered how greed and disrespect for the elderly can turn a rich man's life upside down? Stick around for an incredible story that will leave you speechless. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more amazing African folktales. In the city of Abuja, there lived a man named Matthew Davis. Matthew was a billionaire, owning vast estates, businesses, and a fleet of luxury cars. Despite his immense wealth, Matthew was known for his arrogance and harsh treatment of those who worked for him. Among his employees was an 80-year-old cook named Mrs. Abigail Jones. She had served Matthew's family for decades, cooking their meals with love and dedication. Although her hands had grown frail with age, her meals still tasted heavenly, a skill she had honed since childhood. But Matthew, blinded by his wealth, saw her as nothing more than an old servant. He often yelled at her, criticized her cooking, and sometimes even threw food on the floor if it wasn't to his liking. Despite the mistreatment, Mrs. Abigail remained loyal, quietly enduring his wrath. One day, Matthew hosted a grand party at his mansion. The city's elite attended, flaunting their designer outfits and sipping on the finest champagne. Mrs. Abigail worked tirelessly in the kitchen, preparing a feast fit for royalty. As the night went on, Matthew drank more than usual. Feeling intoxicated by the attention and alcohol, he decided to show off his power in front of his guests. He stormed into the kitchen, demanding Mrs. Abigail bring a dish he had not ordered earlier. "I want jollof rice with goat meat and I want it now," he shouted, his voice echoing through the large kitchen. Mrs. Abigail, though exhausted, nodded. "Yes, sir. I'll prepare it right away." But as she hurried to fulfill his request, her frail hands accidentally knocked over a pot of stew, spilling it on the floor. The room went silent. "You old fool," Matthew bellowed, his face red with anger. "You're useless, why am I even keeping you here?" Without thinking, he grabbed a plate from the counter and smashed it on the floor near her feet, and he even slapped her on the cheek. Shards scattered everywhere, and some even cut her legs. Tears welled up in Mrs. Abigail's eyes, but she didn't say a word. Instead, she slowly bent down to clean the mess.